Yeah, you have to
Anyways,
introduce the guest.
For those of you sitting wondering who this strapping young lad to my immediate left is, Mr. Guy Lazarus. He's here to answer all the hard questions on behalf of EFC.
AKA Moi Guy turned into Guy Jitsu.
Bro, how are you? Are you wearing one of your shirts? He is. There you go.
That's
God
one of
Wars.
my
That's an epic one. That's an epic one.
Rock's also wearing one of
I
his
think it
shirts.
also came out just in time for The Mandalorian.
Are you watching it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking good, bro.
And Rourke's wearing a Subs Not Drugs shirt brought to you by the one and only Guy Jitsu.
Check it out. The website should be live by the time this comes out.
Fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
You
And
can't
we're all getting free shirts on the way out. That's what I was
Yes, awesome. So
told.
Yeah.
A year supply.
the BigAl podcast,
Yeah,
proudly
yeah.
sponsored by.
Guy Jitsu.
Guy
How do you
Welcome aboard, bro.
How do you define a year supply of t-shirts?
One a day.
Wow.
Did you see?
Wow.
This is a bit of waffling.
Manchester United level.
You know there was that damn Daniel thing, right?
What?
Remember it with the guy with the
Damn,
vans?
Daniel.
So they ended up on Ellen, right? Daniel,
Who's Ellen?
the guy who didn't invent it, he was just like the guy. The guy said his friend always said "Damn Daniel." The guy who came up with "Damn Daniel" on Ellen got a surfboard because he was a surfer. So he was stoked. He was like, "Yeah, I'm so stoked I got a surfboard." It had Ellen's logo on it, which sucked a little bit, but he was so stoked. He got a surfboard,
Free
right?
surfboard.
And they're like, "Okay, and Dan, for you, you get a lifetime supply of Vans."
Oh.
That's awesome.
I was like, "That is this work. That sucks." He didn't have to.
You just got shasted.
You could check the guy at the surfboard office. It's like, oh.
A lifetime supply of Vans.
Yeah, lifetime supply of Vans. Obviously, there's restrictions on that, but yeah.
But what happens if Vans have like a lifetime warranty? Then they're like, sweet, one pair, done. You're like, what?
In fairness, the other guy probably picked up like 1 million Snapchat followers, so you could leverage that.
Yeah, but I'd be so sad if I got a surfboard and my mate got a lifetime supply of Vans.
Yeah,
Buy myself
I'd
a
be
surfboard.
proud.
Yeah, but
I'm sure you can share
it could be one pair of Vans. Maybe they believe in their brand so much and they're like, here's your lifetime supply, you only need one pair forever.
I was obviously never owned a pair of Vans.
Also, you forget being a kid and you grow up.
Listen, bro, this physique was not designed for Vans. It's going to be a bit heavy on them shoes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hoy Nelson.
Hi, Nelson. Cyborg's back in town.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't been rolling, so.
I've seen her Fight Fit pretty much every day, every evening.
Nice. Ooh, sorry about that.
Good times.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Cool that she's back. You know, it's like, it's real when she comes back a second time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like
100%.
when you defend your title.
And now South Africans get to watch Bellator somehow. I'm not going to say we're going to do it illegally. We're going to watch it
Fully.
as best we can on Paramount TV.
I was going to say,
Nah.
Bellator's on the Zone, right?
No, it's like it changes, bro. Like some of it's on Paramount, some of it's on the app, and then some of it's on the Zone. So it's pretty fucking weird. Neither Paramount nor the Zone are available here. So
Yeah. Which is silly. I mean,
Wait.
that's why we just
Wait, doesn't Disney own... What's the broadcast owner?
no, it's Viacom.
Yeah.
Viacom.
They might
In
own
which
it.
case, maybe it's on the new Disney platform.
Hey, bro, there's secret stuff
Can you
I'm
get the new
editing
Disney
there
Plus
that people
platform in
can't
South
see.
Africa?
Everyone's watching The Mandalorian.
Yeah, but I mean illegally.
Fair.
You know what I love though? You can like download it in
What
like
are you up to, Raw?
in like
I'm not looking for a certain
2160p. Like
Oh, where did
it's
you
like
save it?
double
I don't
1080.
think my TV is going to actually
Yeah.
load because
I might have deleted it.
It feels like this
It's
around, but I
flipping
don't want to
amazing.
click on a random JPEG.
Go for it, bro.
You don't want to click on a random
Hope I raise those dick pics.
I was sweating hard here, bro.
This could get
This
interesting.
I have a feeling this is it. Though.
Go for it, bro. Be
If
brave.
this-
Be
if-
brave. I'm not scared. I
If
ain't
this
scared.
is our last show, you know Shanda found
What were you saying? Bertus is doing a media appearance tonight. Who was saying that?
Is it?
Oh no, I misheard maybe.
No, it's because on
I
Guys
saw
Media Tour,
something-
apparently he's going to the other podcast.
Guys, media tour.
Hey, Patrick wants me. Why not? Yeah, I saw on Real Talk's Instagram they got Bertus coming on.
Oh, nice. Good
Just
for them.
briefly while I was driving here.
That's interesting because those two are best mates. Anyway.
Hence all the sarcasm in that last statement. It's
Yeah,
going to be
didn't
very
they?
interesting.
Yeah. Didn't Bertus shut EWC down?
Yeah, and you banned Patrick.
Interesting.
Ooh.
That's going to be a good show.
Love and
Tune in.
war, my friend. There's no friends. There's no friends. No friends in war. Firstly, what I want to ask you, Guy, about EFC is what
Can
the
you take
fuck
this down?
gloves were
It's just weird sitting over
Yeah.
there.
Batters disapproves. Those gloves were hella interesting back in the day. Eh? Hella interesting. So, anyway, Mr. Lazarus, why don't you
Lazarus.
why don't you inform the good people of the internet what it is exactly that you do at the EFC?
In short, everything.
Oh.
So I'm involved. Officially, my title is communications manager. In the terms of EFC, that involves pretty much anything you see from a content perspective.
That says EFC on it.
Basically, yeah. I'm either involved in doing it or just being like, yeah, that was great, thank you, let's put it out. Whether I'm manually putting it on social media or giving an okay on it, or vice versa.
And
Like, I still report to other people.
sure. So and you're also the guy who has to answer all the questions on Facebook.
Yeah. I get a lot of abuse.
Repeatedly.
Yeah.
Fuck you, EFC. Why is the stream down, EFC?
My body's ready. Can I join EFC?
Yeah.
That
I've been in the
was-
gym for 6 months. Can I join EFC?
That was terrible.
Listen, bro. We are replacing the SAIDS segment with that from in future. So,
The MMA South Africa Facebook group.
but listen,
favourite.
Guy also has to deal with those people as well.
I get, if I'm getting, say, 15 to 20 a day, it's pretty average. Like, that's the first thing I do when I wake up.
That's
is-
so
when
awesome.
Do
I
you
wake
guys
up,
still have that thing on your website? I remember, become a fighter.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've actually got two now, because there's one for TF and one for just generally.
Oh,
become
so
an
you're
athlete.
saying the Fighter
Here
3
we
is
go.
happening
Bottom.
next year?
It's
I'm gonna
just
try
the
to
Is that
become
what
an
you're
EFC
saying?
fighter.
website is what I'm saying.
Fight with the EFC.
Become an EFC fan. What's
No,
that all
EFC
about?
fighter.
So
Check
join
this.
the
Fighter
mailing
details.
club.
Ah.
Please put that
Or-
guy's details. Raw.
The return. When it says nickname, the return.
Raw.
Weight class welterweight. Definitely.
Where's the nickname? The future.
Raw. Please put that guy from Facebook on there.
Can I sign? I'm an EFC fighter.
So who does this go to?
Comes to info at EFC, and then that's
That's
me
you.
and
Have
one
you
other
ever
person,
got?
yeah.
Have you ever signed a fighter off of this?
One or two Europeans, I think.
Really?
I think their managers filled it out, and then it was passed on to Graham, and then only like, oh, we need someone from this area to fight at this weight. Oh, let's look
Why,
for our
why,
database.
why is your cat dying? bro?
Cat's suicidal again, bro. I don't know what his mission is, dude. I don't know what his problem is. I don't know.
So, from a oh yeah, check this.
It's
MMA
Rock's just
athletes-
a chatty
check.
catty tonight.
MMA SA Pro.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, that's still. This is something I read about.
That's
It's
quite
still
old,
going.
Needs to be updated, I think.
So,
Guy's sweating.
a question.
Yes.
When you do your pro licensing, I remember when I did mine, I had to pay EFC to do it. So, is it still like that?
God, is that nervous twitch normal?
To be honest, I'm uninvolved in that
Okay.
side of things.
So what I wanted to say is,
especially since Aneen's not in the office anymore.
I read a thing about how that all started. For the life of me, those who know me, my memory is like a sieve. But it had something to do with when MMA SA when EFC approached MMA SA, they wanted to set up a pro licensing section, and that was done in conjunction with the EFC. So that's why you were paying to the EFC. There was a
Okay.
thing set up when they initially set it up. That's how they did it.
Okay.
So it was that MMA Pro SA was done in conjunction with MMA SA and the EFC, specifically for licensing, pro licensing for the EFC. Guy, while we slightly serious here before we start the waffle, what I wanted to ask you is as someone who works for the EFC, what do you make of 2019 as a whole? Obviously, it's always weird when we get to these sort of like sagas that's going on, and there's a lot of negativity around MMA in general, not just the EFC, but from your side, someone who sits cage side every fight, who helps build up every fight, who deals with fighters, who sees stuff that most of us don't see. With all of that in mind, what have you made of 2019 for the EFC as a whole?
Ooh, big question, eh?
Yeah, big one.
No holding back.
Nah.
We don't warm up around.
No, just like
We like your average jiu-jitsu gym. No warm ups, bro.
you know, like you know, you're in a very unique position where you get to see a lot of stuff, emotionally and non-emotionally, if that makes sense. So just like from your side, what have you seen in 2019?
Look, it's. I mean, straight off, it's been quite an up and down year from an emotional standpoint. You know, we're like, hey, it's our start off with a bang. It's our 10th year. It's going to be our biggest year. We're signing all these deals in Africa, these broadcast deals. Other things are going on, other potential great things, and then we get this news. You know, we have a bit of a. You know, Kwesi's got their issues. They're liquidating, and we don't know if and when that's happening and affecting us. Which is, and at a time you're like, oh, what's happening to me even as an employee? But we're still here. We did a bit of restructuring in the office. Some people left and then came back, and I think we've got a good core group of people going, putting the fights together still. I mean, this fight card's going to be absolutely nuts.
It's a good fight card.
I don't think anyone's doubting the fight card from a talent and entertainment perspective and hype perspective. Look, it still remains to see 2020, but I think overall the year, considering what we've had to deal with, is actually a success.
Sure.
You know, we've dug deep and
it's been like a...
hate to use the fight metaphor, but we dug deep and we fought our way through it.
No, for sure. It's been like a year fighting through the trenches, and EFC and MMA has survived. That's the core takeaways for me. And this was in reality, like I know there was a couple of fighters I was looking forward to seeing on this card, which hasn't happened, but this was what we hoped for, I think, as fans. And I mean, all of us here, besides anything else, we're all fans of the sport, and that's why we're here. And I think as pure fans of the sport, we're pretty happy with this card. Not purely based on the individual matchups, but how I like to judge fight cards is what happens for fighter X, Y, and Z if they get a win. So is Cameron Simon the real deal, and can he hang at his age at the top? Can JT Buerta convert his up and down? He had a very up and down start as an amateur. Can he convert under the big lights? Should we be considering Nerek Simose on the main card? You know, where is Conrad CIB at? Stefan De La Rey, can he follow up after a big performance? You know, like all of these questions we get to answer, and that's what I love to see in a fight card, and I think that's pretty exciting to see. And it, obviously that's what the pattern continues into the main card, so that's a pretty exciting one. I like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of great little narratives going on all over the place there. I mean, Andrew Smith was out for however long. It was a featherweight.
Rob, just pull that up.
He had a child.
Pull that up.
You know, he had a child, and now he's fighting at now at welterweight, but he almost stepped in middleweight and then he broke his hand.
Yeah, he's thicker than a Snicker at the
2 or
moment.
3 events ago. I mean, I'm very intrigued to see
how thick he is. Us as well.
No, how it translates, because he was very like when he fought at feather, he was very fast and
that's a big
a lot of
featherweight.
alacrity, you know.
Yeah, that's
so
a big
I'm
featherweight.
intrigued to see does the power come through
the Anavar.
Oh, my goodness.
No,
my
I'm just
man.
joking.
Andrew
That was
Warren and
very
I
quick,
like
though.
you.
I'm just joking. I like Andrew Smith a lot. I'm just saying, my boy thick as a Snicker.
But even Warren says he's only 70. Warren says he's 73, so if this guy says he's...
Return of the King.
Okay.
Warren, how are you gonna make 75?
I'm under 75 already,
Are
China.
you?
Yeah.
No, he's deceivingly light, actually.
Yeah.
I weighed at Submission Kings, I weighed 74 clothed.
He uses diuretics.
Actually,
I
this
competed
guy,
at 61 in the EFC.
this guy got me so excited. Gave me the huge responsibility of helping him cut weight, right? So now I read the whole protocol. So stoked to help him out. He's like, Rock, you need to be up at 4 and you need to wake me up because we have to start cutting, right? So I have to make 64 kilograms because I think that was when Cass wasn't going to make weight.
Yeah,
So you have to make 64.
That's the best phone call you can ever get. Right? A day before, and they're like, your opponent is not going to make weight.
Or anywhere near it.
When you're in here, and you're like, oh, the weight cut just got so much
Thank
easier.
you.
So I wake up at 4. I'm like, gotta wake Warren up. And then he's not there. I was like, oh, flip, I lost Warren. He's like, gone. And then I heard like Joe Rogan going on the bathroom. I was like, Warren? he's like, "Yeah, I've already cut the weight. Don't worry about it." It's like, "Oh,
You could have
Okay.
sent me a WhatsApp, bro.
thank you."
But
listen,
even 61 wasn't difficult.
just
No,
open
61
that
was
middle
fine.
picture, Rock.
61 was the one where we watched The Notorious, and then
Yeah.
you was sleeping in the bath at Sun City. What do you want?
Open that middle picture. I
This
wanna
is
see
with
the-
under 80 kilo William also and the featherweight.
Yeah. You always the ringleader is always in the middle. That's what I've come to learn.
That's
What-
Wade Henderson.
William Obolza. Yeah.
No, on the left. Wait.
Yeah, the goat.
I heard he's got a fight in December versus Josh Muller.
Yeah, so did I hear that. Confirm that.
But was
for
it
us.
at Submission Quest that Josh Muller said he'd fight him for free?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been saying that the whole year, literally since.
Why do they hate each other so much?
So I'll tell you why. Josh lost to him early on.
In a jiu-jitsu or MMA match?
I think in an MMA fight, like very early on. And he said like something I don't know, something went wrong. He was sick or hurt, or he feels like he should have never lost, so he wants to just get that back, kind of thing.
I remember Josh came to the office like
Go down?
ages ago. This is when we're still
There,
in
there, there, there.
Oh, yeah.
Bryanston. He
UFC
was
12.
like, "Hey, I want to come back. I want to fight Wade."
Yeah,
It's
that's like
he was very
it's like
adamant
it's
about
like
it.
yeah. He told me like he'll do it for free. Like he just wants to fight him to prove that he can beat him, kind of thing.
Sorry, what EFC was that?
12.
12.
Wasn't that like one of your biggest events? That was the first Soldier Boy versus Jeremy
McClellan.
Smith.
Yeah,
That
Soldier Boy
was
versus
way
Smith.
before my time. I think the first time I ever heard of Soldier Boy was in like top billing.
Guy was deep into the Muay Thai.
Yeah,
He was traditionalist.
like think Ron Potts' first fight is when I started watching UFC,
But Ron Potts fought early in the
and I
UFC.
was only
Yeah.
because he was coming from Dragon
Oh.
Power back
Did
then.
you? Speaking of old fangs, did you see he put a post out that he's 100% still active and
Is
will
it?
be competing next year? Yeah, I think on his Facebook. So you were,
do you remember Fangs' debut in the UFC and the commentary that went with it?
I don't remember the commentary, but I remember him getting beat.
I
And
just
he got a
that
hard
one
run
there.
though. He got
Yeah.
in
so
retrospect he
Paleli
did.
and
Derek Lewis was his
And
last fight.
and
eh?
Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah,
Did Nelly get like a knee bar? I can't remember on Derek. I can't remember.
possibly.
don't
I just
think so.
remember him getting mounted by Derek Lewis and
Derek's
almost
beast,
assassinated. But we didn't know who Derek Lewis was back then, so it didn't seem as significant.
That's always the unfortunate. I was looking at Ross Pearson's fight record the other day. I remember I sent it to you. And if you look at like those 13 losses in his past 18 fights, they're all like the top lightweights in the world. Like he was like the gatekeeper for like the upper division, the upper echelon of that division. And you feel sorry. Like you look back and you're like, he probably could have hung with the mid tier guys,
Mm.
but he just kept getting fed like all the next big
Yeah,
thing.
because he's a name, so people are using his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, so Ruan Potts is going to be back in 2020. That's according to his Instagram.
So isn't it his birthday today? Happy birthday, Potsy.
Happy
Is
birthday,
it?
Pottsy. You know more than we do, boy. How come we didn't see something on Twitter from EFC, boo? Happy birthday, Ruan
We've
Potts.
Stop doing birthday messages.
That's unacceptable. That's
That roster's
unacceptable.
way too big to do birthday messages.
I'm going to tell Marsa. These are, can't even say happy birthday. What the fuck?
We weren't supposed to say that word.
So where did you initially start Muay Thai, Mr. G-Laz? I know you used to train under the one and only.
Yeah.
We shall not say his name. I don't want to die.
So I came back from America. My family tried to move there illegally.
Yeah, I was going to
Illegally?
say when someone
Actually,
says
when
because if I never
yeah.
need to go there on holiday, or
when
something,
someone
that might
says
be
they
a problem.
tried to go to America,
You were a light at that stage.
Yeah,
you
I
didn't
was
do anything
12.
wrong.
Were you-
Literally
were you
like 2 days
Mexican?
after my bar mitzvah.
were you Mexican
Is
when
it?
you were a youngster?
Shaved. but-
So wait, first give us some more background. Where did you go in America?
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, less movement,
Sorry,
less
Rock,
movement.
stop it.
I didn't
God
touch it.
damn it,
No,
Rock.
that's on me.
We moved to the OC.
Okay.
Orange County. I think it was Elisa Vieja. which
Dealt
is
some
like
drugs.
Valley.
And what were your parents trying to do there?
Well, just my mom. She was a dancing teacher. She has her own business as well, like personalized label stationery,
Okay.
craft stuff. She was trying to set that up. she was just convinced that life was going to be better there. And then through
How long did it last?
2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I was staying
2 months is
with-
a good run.
Yeah, I was staying with my uncle. I went to school for like a month there. It was cool. And just
Did the police
realised-
come?
Never got to that point because we still had
Pack
like
your
longer,
bags.
longer visas, from
Yeah.
what I understand. And then my mom just couldn't deal with it and decided to come back here, start up her other business, start up her Pilates business. Check it out. She's building this awesome studio in Woodstock, Cape Town. Shout out.
Nice, nice.
Shameless plug.
I'm shameless in those flags. Yeah, and then I'd been doing judo pretty much my whole life at that point. But I just, for some reason, didn't want to do judo. I went into middle school, and some of my friends were doing Muay Thai at Dragon Power with Quinton and Winston Chong at the time. And I went there, and I was like, okay, let me
Did you
try this for a
witness?
while.
Did you witness Quinton Chong murder anybody?
No, I did not.
Oh,
Just checking.
for the record, we do not know this gentleman on the far right.
For the record, I've never witnessed anyone murder anyone.
Were there times when you felt extremely nervous? That is one scary human being. I don't know what it is about him. He's fucking scary. Probably because he probably killed people.
I don't know anything
I'm
about
not
that.
saying that.
No, it's all fun and games, but it's one
Um,
scary individual.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. I'm sitting here like a Victorian school kid with my hand underneath my arm and
Just
my legs
rest
tucked
your arm
between
here
my-
with me, boy. Don't worry. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna
Let's
it's like an
smash on
aeroplane, boy. This is what it feels like flying next to a fat ass on an aeroplane. Just
Oh
like,
man, I think I signed my death wish. I agreed to take my children to America next year, but there's a 16-hour flight that's involved in it. And if any of you have met my like younger son, he ain't doing shit for 16 hours.
That's a short flight.
Yeah, because it's Florida. Yeah, it's,
cannabis oil,
If
bro.
you remember Mazzini, I've traveled
Natural.
7 time zones and
Oh.
19 million hours. And
My cousin-in-law's wife did a trip to Canada with 2 children under the age of 4 by herself.
Lord have mercy.
I think she did a layover in Dubai as well.
Yeah, it was like a 30-something hour trip.
Bro, friends of my wife did something. She stays in Sacramento. Came out here with her son. Was here for like a week or whatever. Flew back on what's the American Airlines?
Yeah.
Delta.
United-
sorry,
United
no,
Airlines.
on Delta, bro. Had some problem with the plane. Had to land in the middle of fucking nowhere, and then get another plane and then go home. She left here the Sunday night. Got home on the Wednesday afternoon. Dude.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
And I think her kid was like 2 years old. Like literally, we were fucking. My wife was panicking. She's like, she should be home by now. And it was like Tuesday night. I'm like, then eventually we got hold of her parents and like, no, there was some. They had to do like an emergency stop in the middle of nowhere, bro. Like on some island.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, you know what makes it so long?
Don't fly Delta.
Is that they don't want to fly over the ocean, so
Yeah.
they fly all the way up to like Greenland,
Why don't
around.
why?
They come down Canada, and then they go down the coast of America. It's like I'll risk it. Just fly over the ocean. I'll fucking risk it.
Yeah. Let's cut this out. And I'm a decent enough swimmer. If it comes to that, let's go, bro.
Oh, man.
That's fuck. I love that shit. But we were fishing in Mozambique, and we were like on this dodgy ass boat, and this like dude, he's obviously like student or whatever. He's like, guys, I don't want to alarm you, but the boat's taking on a bit of water.
Oh.
So I'm like, how much water are we talking about here, bro? And he like lifts the seat and it's just fucking water everywhere. And this thing's just like, so he's like, well, we can go back or we can like carry on fishing a little bit longer. So like, you know, like typical oaks, so like, here's an idea. Let's get a little bit closer to shore and then carry on, because at least if it sinks, we can swim. I've got a mate who's like a fucking badass swimmer. I'm like, boy, can we make it back from here? He's like, not a fuck. I'm like, a little bit closer, bro. Yeah? No. I'm like, how much closer? He's like, bro, we need to be within 700 meters of the shore, otherwise we never fucking make it. It's like, well, guess that's that then. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I wouldn't want to swim.
Look,
in the ocean.
fishing's not worth it. Like,
Anyway,
so Mr. G-Laz, there's 1.5 spots left there on the card. You want to enlighten us a little bit?
Is
What
he
do we
fighting
got there,
Bruno
though?
Makulu?
There's-
We spotted it on the car. We spotted it on the board.
yeah, there was a psych
That was
apparently.
as soon as he put it up on social, I was just like,
I
psych.
didn't put it up. I deleted it.
I can show you the WhatsApp convo.
No, you can't. I'll show them some WhatsApp conversations. I keep all my shit. I archive, boy. I don't delete, boy.
It's like my Greek grandmother, right? She's got archived email chats from like 2001.
Don't lie, they didn't have emails in 2001.
Come now.
So Rudy has, I mean, we all know he's been training up in AKA coaching
Correct.
and training.
PTT.
Paquette Option, not AKA.
Yeah.
Too many acronyms.
I know.
And we've got two really good possibilities, both awesome guys. I'm waiting
Local fighters.
yeah, South
Okay.
African, well, Africans. I'm not going to say what nationality yet. That might give it away. But
So, hang on. This is...
it's amazing sometimes how topology has stuff and it's just rumors. Like it hasn't been put up anywhere.
So,
Well, for sure, Topology must stop confusing the De Beer fighters.
yeah.
De Beers, Pretorius, Duplessis, they've got Neil instead of Trickus at the moment.
Boy, just go back to the fight card quickly. This is what I was asking you before. Is that... I don't know what that is.
I think it's mine on my leg.
That's hella interesting. Is that spot actually a fight, or is it going to be a 6-fight prelim card? Can you say?
To be honest, I think it's
'Cause
going to
6
fall
is
away.
fine. Yeah. 6
Yeah,
is
I'm not
6 and
upset
5.
with that.
Yeah. If 7 prelims, I'm like, oh my god, it's going to be a long day.
There was that one year where the last event was... It was
14.
66. 66 was 14 fights. Do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
how long
yeah,
that
yeah.
night was?
I
Ishad
remember that.
versus
The Mart.
I got to that last fight, I couldn't do it anymore. It's like I'm done.
That was in
also
Times Square.
Times Square.
Yeah.
That was juicy ass long, dude.
It was very long.
I remember getting home at like 2:30 in the morning,
Also,
maybe.
Guy's kind of like he leads me with the photos, like what he needs, right? He's like, can you get some backstage photos? It's
Oh.
like, yeah.
Oh,
Have you
that's a
tried to find
nightmare
anyone
there.
backstage at Times
Oh my
Square?
gosh,
That
it's
for
the
that first
worst.
event, you're like, I was like, I can't find anyone. No one's anywhere. There's like 3 stories, 3 floors, and like 6 change rooms. What do you want me to do?
Remember, who were we trying to find after the last one?
I can't even remember. We didn't find them.
We were looking for someone and we couldn't find them. We were like, fuck this, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Who were we looking for? I can't remember, but we walked that backstage flat, dude, and not a soul in sight.
Oh,
Yes.
Zulu Boy.
Oh, yeah, for Zulu Boy. And we still got some sweets on the exit. That was pretty cool.
Mm.
Security guards got sweets here. It's so random. They're like, have a nice
But, like,
day.
just candy.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
random.
Drugs.
Yeah.
But
Well,
those the EFC security guards are like wuss with you. If I don't, so I often throw my tag around the back, right? Because otherwise it
that's how the
clink,
cool kids do it.
no, it clinks with the camera if I'm holding the camera. Right?
Yeah, and you don't want to
So
hear
try-
that on the photos.
So
Just thinking.
no, but if it's so like I'll walk through, I'm like trying to move through the crowd or move through the area fast, and the dude like I'll be like focused. The dude as I'm going, just put his hand out and like clothesline me.
Bro,
I'll be like, it's here.
Bro, the
Fuck.
UFC in Abu Dhabi was a fucking nightmare with credentials. Because they had made you like it's there, that card, bro. It's like a solid ID card. So we get there, and they stop us. So there was the whole showdown week. So for the week, you got like this big square pass that said fight week, whatever, fight pass. And it had like media on it. And then for the fights, you got a different one. So the guys that had spent the week there had both. So when we got to the weigh-ins, this was the first time now that these oaks were seeing the actual card. And they were like, no, this is not media. So now there's 2 of us. I'm like, how do you think 2 of us speaking different languages got these? No, he doesn't know, but these are not media. Next thing, the entire media arrives, bro. We're talking about like 50, 60 people, all with the same thing. They still won't fucking let us in. I'm like, bro, this is no coincidence. Like, we all have the same thing. It took them like 10 minutes. Boy, do you know what 10 minutes will cost you in Abu Dhabi in 45 degrees heat? You are dying already. You're on death's door. And these oaks are still arguing with each other. And eventually, like, okay, go through, cool, go to the media room, do your shit now. Like, gonna go to the floor to watch the weigh-ins. First, Oak lets me in, go get my camera set up, everything's cool. I want to go get something to drink. Walk out, go back. Oak's like, you can't go in here. I'm like, dude, I literally just came from in here. He's like, yeah, but it says no floor access. I'm like, yo, that's for fight night, buddy. This is a media pass. That's where the media's sitting. Oh, no, it says no floor access. Now you're stuck there. You got no fucking signal, so you can't call anybody. You got to fucking try and reason with the soak. Again, 45 degrees, no fucking aircon inside. And I'm like, okay, bro, but can I just get my fucking camera? And I'm like, which one is like the one on the fucking tripod ready? He's like, okay, fine, go inside. Fuck's sakes. It was a fucking nightmare, dude. Anyway, that was all.
So
Yeah, no,
who's this last fight?
We just said
It might
just
not be
away.
there, bro.
It's like never follows the show.
He doesn't
eh?
listen, bro. He's googling R. Kelly shit again.
It's like that time you re-asked that same question on the interview.
yeah. I just
I was
answered
like-
that.
I was like,
Well, I like is that you guys don't forget about it. And you remind me and stuff. That's awesome.
Interesting. So, what do you think 2020 brings us MMA fans, Lazarus? What would you like to see
What
on
would be my dream?
on the March card? Because it's
what will be your dream, but that'll be a little bit closer to reality than a dream.
because we yeah.
So Graham already said that he's trying to do, I think it was for March, Elaine versus Joe.
No, he didn't, but thanks.
No, he said it in he said it in
In a
video or something.
quiet meeting.
You said
behind
it
closed
in the
doors
EFC
with
boardroom
yeah.
in a private meeting.
In something on camera or video.
Definitely not.
Which would be it's I mean it's no secret we've been trying to do that fight.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
obviously we haven't been bringing in too many international guys.
Now I
for
have to eat
financial-
my words about not having Elaine on this card. Get to that.
And that's also it's great because then you've got Kanyaba and Delafield waiting ready to go, which should be a very fun fight. I mean Delafield hadn't even trained for that fight the first time.
Yeah,
He's looking like a new guy.
Yeah,
he's definitely look like a new guy.
Yeah,
I spend quite a bit of time with him whenever I go to Cape Town, go hang out. I work from PFA a little bit. He's just fitting in. He lives across the road. That's what he does. Trains,
Oh, that's awesome.
teaches, lives across the road. Him and one or two other guys, and that's his. He moved to Cape Town to train. You know, his
That's
kids
good.
still live in Durban.
Durban, yeah.
I think with
Yeah.
the mom. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Well, I'm guessing with a parent figure
Yeah.
of sorts.
Yeah.
I don't think they're just out there fending for themselves.
Isn't
But everyone has their own parenting techniques. But
isn't it Jesse's sister?
I-
Jesse Fleming's sister, isn't it?
oh, here we go again.
It's you knobhead.
I'm not moving.
No, I don't. I think it's actually just the
Oh,
we're deaf.
it's Gilas.
We're
I've
deaf.
got the worst
Sorry, Rock,
itchy
it's
bite on my
Gilas.
foot from a mosquito bite.
Just bite your tongue, bro, and just deal with it.
So we had that Brave Matchmaker on, and he was talking about maybe one day doing a joint card with EFC.
No,
Would that
he
ever-
wasn't.
He was,
Or
he was co-promoting.
he was trying to suggest it internally for this one.
Would that okay? Even if he never said that, would that ever be a possibility?
Never say never. I don't know what's going through the Kyra and there's head at the moment regarding that kind of thing. I know some of what they're trying to work on, which would probably not allow that, but you know, if the right business opportunity comes along,
What he's
they're
talking
gonna
about is
jump
fight pass. They're trying
No.
to get UFC on fight pass. It's why you got to do. You got to fish. No, so we know that's out. So that is not happening.
You're already successful in getting the Lane Joe Cummings info out.
I'm 100% sure that was said somewhere.
I'm 100% not so 100%
Yeah,
sure.
listen. If it was said, I probably would have heard it. But thanks for sharing that with us, boy. Breaking news. Here we go. So just get the pictures ready. Confirmed by Guy Lazarus. March.
Trying to get it done.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, okay. No, you wouldn't know.
And it would be Menlin, so there'll be a bunch of more CIT guys. Who knows? Maybe even Drickus again.
Let's just say Town Square is the best venue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why don't we just
Bar
cut?
long shot.
Let's
Yeah,
just
why
cut
don't-
Carnival
why
Let's
City.
just
we
do all
just-
of them at Town
let's
Square.
just move permanently. PI weigh-ins,
Carnival
Times
sucks.
Square.
It's far. It's close for you guys though.
Bro, listen.
It took me like
we
an
are-
hour to get you.
Listen,
from
boy,
something
we are
with
deep
no
east.
traffic.
We are deep east.
What about Carnival City? Carnival City's in like the butt end of Gauteng.
Armpit, bro. It's in the
It is
armpit.
like the worst spot to
listen,
go to.
Listen, boy, we are in the east and it's too far for us. That's how far.
No,
That's
100%.
far.
Carnival City is the worst.
Do you guys remember that geek competition that was past Carnival City?
It springs.
Yeah.
I missed the whole thing.
I was driving
I
and
tried
I'm
to
like,
get there.
and I'm like, cool. I haven't seen Carnival City. It's not too bad. I'm like, okay, there goes Carnival City. Cool. Drove all the way there to get fucking guillotined in the first 3 minutes. It's great.
Oh, man.
This comes
Remember we used to go Spa and Springs, bro? Yes, you'd have to like
So
meet
they had this great idea to go spar in Springs, right? And the guys there are amazing. The guys we went to, it was all the House Tinkerbell guys. But we can walk into the gym. We're like, cool, let's spar. They're like, no. You're gonna come spar in the cage. So we walk around the back of
Where
the gym,
else would you
right?
spar, bro?
No, we walk around the back of the gym. The cage is set up there, but under like a tin roof.
Like tar style.
And closed in. People couldn't make the end. But people were just lying on the ground dead.
It was so
the
hot.
heat,
bro.
the
It
heat was
like-
just killing
It was
everyone.
like 30 degrees Celsius spawn. Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah. Good stuff.
What else?
Spring sucks. Brad Pan sucks.
Yeah, let's
Times
stay
Square.
in Pretoria. Let's stay
Times
in Pretoria.
Square.
I like it. I like it.
in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden. Here we go.
Well, it's so nice. Everything's like right there. You can. It's easy to get food in between in the
That
intervals.
Andicho's was delicious.
Yeah, and Ditches was pretty legit the last time.
The venue's nice.
What do you?
The
Party's
crowd's
good.
nice. Do you notice more fights or different kinds of fights at different venues?
Absolutely.
Like,
Like,
I think it was Sun City. We had Mr. Vessel Mostat who started I think,
Yeah.
or helped in a fight there. And then
Oh, the
Carnival-
crowd fight.
Yeah, because I've
Oh, yeah.
seen.
For
I don't think I've ever
shenanigans.
seen a crowd fight at Times Square. I've seen a crowd fight at Carnival in Sun City.
yeah, Carnival, it's guaranteed, but
Carnival.
comes with the
I
ticket
saw
price.
the like Angola DRC fucking.
Were you actually? Oh, I've
War.
spoken about this before. Were you at that Sun City when all that shit kicked off
No.
with Ricky Mashalas and the other dude, the Congolese Predator,
Mm-mm.
Congolese predator.
The- tall dude with like the blonde dreadlocks?
Knife.
No, not that. No. He's not a fighter, bro.
Boomer,
He's-
yeah, that guy.
No.
What was
He's not
that guy's
a fighter.
name?
He's
I
not
know
a fighter.
Christopher
Wolf.
He's like 9'10".
Wolmerans.
Is he the one that was always shouting chicken to Stuart?
I think so. Very
I don't know
possible.
his name, but
Crazy fella. He literally looks like.
Already should reinstall McAfee security.
No, McAfee's bro. McAfee's like I told you, like an ex-girlfriend just keeps fucking calling, bro. Like, yes, we've gone with AVG, bro. Get over it. It's gonna be fine. Oh yes, open that up. Let's have a look. Young Savage
those were some
and
good fights.
Mrs. Young
We're
Savage.
like a bunch of ADD kids here.
We are. That's how it
So
goes.
much waffling.
Yeah.
I think Monster. We shouldn't have Monster.
Yeah, we shouldn't have monster. It's a problem. Yeah, but shout out to these two, bro. Fuck, what a show, eh?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Bring it
Do
up on
you-
YouTube.
Was JP's fight last minute? Because he said nothing until like way.
Yeah, it was
before.
definitely
Oh,
last
so
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
last minute,
last
the most
minute.
last minute you can get.
Yeah, it was last minute.
Look fair. Look.
I think they phoned him the day before. I only knew on the day it was happening. I saw LFA's weigh-ins and I was like, oh shit, look, JP Base. That's interesting.
You're such a liar.
I'm not lying, bro. That's the truth, bro. You know what I know, bro. I don't fucking know. Oh, we can watch this. Hopefully we get kicked off YouTube.
You did pretty well for making weight on such short.
Yeah, he did, bro.
It's crazy how you can make 135
Stay ready,
day
bro.
off, eh?
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, bro. That's what I always say.
man.
Even in this little clip, he's got way better striking than this other guy.
As me and Guy found out about LFA, Guy does a much better social media job than LFA does.
Aw.
Turn it up, bro. Crank it
But
up.
yeah, LFA is actually their media presence.
You
is a
can
bit
full
weak
screen
at
that
times.
as well, bro.
Like their production's rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's like, and this is, bro, these are actually, they were saying in the show that they've had like 148 fighters go from LFA to UFC.
Yeah.
So
That's insane,
I'm
dude.
not sure if it's them or RFA.
Leave it up, leave the volume up.
One of them is co-owned by McMahon.
Yeah.
I
So
they've
think
got
RFA,
that
yeah.
like direct route.
it used to be Legacy Fighting Championships and RFA. So Ed Soares owned RFA and Mick Maynard was co-owner of Legacy. Then Mick got the UFC job, and then they combined Legacy and RFA to make LFA, and Ed Soares runs LFA.
How gangster is this ref, bro? Looks like he literally just built a hot rod and just pulled in here. Hey? And
Shane, this like doesn't know what's about to
I
happen.
like
No.
it, and he's like, touch gloves. It's not an option in my cage. But how cool, like this is one thing that I think South Africa really misses is like almost like burner sort of pro shows like this that's just feeding
Yeah.
like the EFC, you know what I mean?
There's no show. Is there anyone else doing pro fights?
No one,
anymore?
bro.
No.
There's no one.
Well, Fight
Oh,
Sisters don't exist anymore.
PFC, but they're doing one a year kind of thing, it seems like it. And they're doing like that Bellator sort of like mix up boxing, K1, MMA, which is fucking cool. And the show is really legit. But yeah, in terms
the-
of like this sort of pro shows, we don't
The
have.
cage is small, eh?
It is smaller.
What is the legal requirements for cage? Like it's.
Oh, he
like,
tried to do that little sit under one.
Yeah.
It's not.
But
like,
that's the same thing he did in Pakistan. The Chad was showing me on that single leg, tuck your head so you can't get any shots, and any shots will become illegal. That's exactly the same sort of
yeah, it's
that tuck
already
under single
Mm.
leg. Seen this before.
almost got the same finish as against Bolden.
Yeah. And this is the beginning of the end here, bro.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't realize how good JP's jiu-jitsu is, bro,
Mm.
Yeah.
and just
I-
his groundwork in
I
general.
used to grapple a lot of them, and it's
Look at that, bro.
It's quite unpleasant, actually.
it's very unpleasant.
Yeah, he's strong, dude. I mean, fuck, I must outweigh JP by like 60, 70 kilos. And Derek just fucking manhandles me, bro. And that's that, bro.
Ooh,
Shame.
that kind of base.
Check out those
Imagine
hips, bro.
this guy's coach, but it's your time. It's time, like,
This is it. What do South Africans know, bro?
this guy's from Africa. Like, what's the
Like that guy's not even upset with the stoppage. He's just upset with himself.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the sick ass fucking fight shorts there.
Yeah, they're like that.
Those are legit, dude. You see Pumi, he was like, where do I get those? That's pretty cool.
For me, it's flyweight.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
actually a good question. What's happening with flyweight in the UFC?
Ooh.
Is it done?
There's still fights going on. Not on
Name
this
one.
card.
Name one.
Not on this
Not on this
Name one
card.
in the last
Not on
6
the
months.
last card. Not on the previous card. The number one guy got sent to bantamweight.
Zulu's going back to flyweight. I had I don't know what was going on with that. I don't want to say actually.
Yeah, fair enough.
You wanna say?
I'm not privy to the behind the scenes negotiations,
Yeah.
but he was offered opponent, and I think he accepted, and something happened with the opponent. Another local guy. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask. him to find out
That other
exactly.
opponent basically watched Zulu's highlight reel and was like, fuck that.
No, they just sent him Constantia's insurance
Yeah,
bill
he was
after
like,
the
"Fuck
Sylvester
that."
Chipfumbu fight. Like, nah, it's fine.
That, the Craig Nino fight. We can keep
Yeah.
going.
And I was like,
Uh,
nah, I'm okay.
Even Gary Joshua had his
Mhm.
had some cosmetic work done there.
I've held pads for him once.
So it's confirmed that the flyweight's done, right?
Negative.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
I think next year there'll be a lot more flyweight again. Obviously, like Sylvester's no more flyweight. Aziashi's moved up
Well, Fafa also got sent back up to bantam
against Sylvester. I don't know why that happened at bantam. I can't remember.
because they're doing it. I'm gonna lie to you. They're doing away with the flyweight division.
In case you haven't noticed.
Jake Hadley got sent to Bellator. Joby Sanchez. Do you think
How
they're gonna
is-
redo that fight?
With him and JP, I just
Yeah.
think with that. I was like, how did Joby Sanchez get cut?
Yeah.
Did he get into the UFC?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did after he beat JP.
That was the second time.
That was his second attempt at getting
Yeah.
in there. He was one of the first guys not to get
Fuck,
into the
maybe
UFC
they,
with a
maybe,
win at Dana
maybe
White.
they will, eh? But that.
Because JP worked him in the first round.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, bro. It's
I
the
think,
weirdest
yeah,
thing
I
ever.
think,
Yeah.
I think that flyweight cut was hectic for JP.
Mm.
I think,
What does
But
he want?
you know, he was told by Uriah Faber to move to bantamweight.
is it?
Uriah said, you must stay at bantamweight. But I think that might have had something to do with what they expected. Yeah, this is definitely going to get it kicked off YouTube. But anyway,
Do you want me to not do it?
no, it's fine. Let's push the limits, bro.
0 fucks given Baroque.
Because you know what, like,
the double
all-
ad.
if from this point,
Upsetting.
if from this point on YouTube and you're watching and it goes mute, you know why?
Well, why don't we mute it?
No,
Mute
it doesn't
no,
matter because you
you're
can still see
showing
the
it behind me, aren't
visuals,
you?
bro. Yeah.
Well, then just blur it.
No, fuck that. Just push the limit. If they send me an email, I'll be like, sorry, YouTube, I didn't know. Even though I said I'd know, I don't know.
JP was smashing him in the first round. For
You know what I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you? So
And had his back.
I don't know if you can answer this question, but do you think that in 2020 we will see less focus on European-based athletes and more focus on African-based athletes, or African athletes based in Europe?
I think so. Especially, you can see that trend a little bit at the
Yeah,
moment
yeah.
with us, especially with the African broadcasting.
Yeah.
Good to
Oh,
look.
on your head.
Like whenever, like for instance, when Temba fought,
Yeah.
we picked up a Zimbabwe deal.
Cool.
So it definitely helps us with those broadcast deals.
Sure.
Obviously, people want see.
And I think
Yeah.
that's like a good move, though.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
I
It's
think the
genius,
focus
bro.
on African fights and potentially maybe getting the EFC into Africa with live events, I think that's definitely the one.
Do
Europe's got everything already. Like, fuck Europe.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need any more content.
Do you feel, not just from an MMA context, but there seems to be this massive African growth in the general zeitgeist?
Oh yeah, definitely. Look at Aries. Aries is coming.
Yeah.
That's Francis
Fernand-
Ngannou's coach.
Yeah,
Fernando Lopez.
Fernando Lopez.
But you see how like, so I was actually telling someone about that today. So a guy like Fernando Lopez, who's at the head of basically the revolution to make MMA legal in France, has also probably got quite a big backing from the UFC. Because how many shows do you know go to their first show that's going to be available on Fight Pass?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen too often. So they're obviously, because can you imagine Francis Ngannou going to fight for the heavyweight title in France? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's
like
crazy.
a Stipe rematch, maybe. You know what I mean? Like in France, dude.
Or France is coming to Africa
Do you-
and
Yeah,
trying
dude.
to win
Do
in
you look
Africa.
at UFC?
Imagine Francis in fucking like Senegal, bro. It'd be insane. Or like Morocco.
I wonder why they chose Senegal to start with, though.
France's home country, Senegal? Or
No, Cameroon.
Cameroon, yeah.
But I'm saying I wonder why Aries decided to go with Senegal. To
I
start
think because I think the connection is Rourke, we can log into my email, bro. We can pull up the yeah.
Please do.
No, my personal email. It's a bit of a problem. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. No, it's hot. It's Hotmail, boy. I know.
It's very hot.
Oh man.
I'll have to WhatsApp you the code.
I'm just hypothesizing, but like Senegal's got that wrestling system.
yeah,
Yes, that's what I was
Senegal.
getting
you
to. Yeah.
getting 10, 20,000 people in a stadium watching that with no TVs or anything.
Yeah, but that's 20,000 non-paying members to go
They're
watch.
not paid to go watch.
From my understanding, they don't pay to go watch. From my understanding, the UFC is the biggest combat sports show
you
on.
can-
I mean,
We-
even bigger than Golden Gloves. I know Golden Gloves reach is bigger in terms of their local broadcast deals and that. But I mean, EFC is the biggest combat sports event, live event on Africa. You'd expect that someone trying to break through into this territory would bring it, like Brave did, bring it to South Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, Brave's Morocco event didn't do well. They did. Where was the other African country they went to? They went to like another random African country.
Yeah, I remember what you're saying. Yeah.
So I mean, South Africa is probably got the only proven history. I know those Senegalese wrestling events are massive, but
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's. I think
it's
that's where
people
they
below, like it's the low income population in Senegal that's supporting that.
So, boy,
event.
sorry. You're looking for an email from my homeboy Alan Murphy. Yeah. There.
Don't you feel?
Is he part of
Fighting.
Aries now?
Yeah, so he's got that like management company or like sports marketing kind of company. So bro, open the presentation, the PDF. This is what we need. You can full screen that if you can. So I would imagine that the Senegalese connection close to Europe. I think the guy who's one of the partners or whatever involved with this might actually be from Senegal.
Okay.
It's everything we're looking for should be in here. It's done really, really well, bro. Like the whole layout is really, really good. So it's all organized as sports competition. This Vivendi Sports jointly with Fernando Lopez, yeah. So the way I imagine it is, I would imagine Fernando Lopez is probably getting quite a bit of a push from the UFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the guy I'm talking about, yeah. So this dude is the MD at this Vivendi Sports. Okay, cool. This is if people want to know about this, we can get this in touch. This is about Fernando Lopez and his stuff. This is just the information about the weigh-ins and how it's all going to be, and then the fight card. But so see this dude in the co-man, that I don't know how to say his name, Rug or whatever. I imagine, if we can Google this dude, bro, I imagine this dude is going to be some sort of Senegalese wrestling star. My boy has also been on the same stack as Andrew the Predator.
Oh my god, this like brutal.
But go down, Bruce, have a look at the size of this fella.
Oh, For the jiu-jitsu guys, check out Taliesin Suarez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corner.
Yeah.
Isn't that Alcantara? Oh,
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It looks like Taliesin Suarez.
Oh, yeah.
And there's two brothers on
he
this
moved
card
to
as well.
Australia, huh? Yeah.
That would be weird.
So go
Yeah, he
down.
did.
So like the opposite of Levi.
Yeah. So he moved to Australia and opened up
Yeah,
a
so
gym.
Alcantara, he's also
near
fought in the
Melbourne.
UFC, eh?
He's on the Gold Coast somewhere.
Keep going.
They got quite a few UFC vets at signed, eh? That
Captain
Lapillus.
List- Lithuania.
They had Brian Caraway.
Captain Lithuania.
And then
Not as
he
well
got
known as Captain
injured or
America, but
something.
it's a thing.
Look at this dude, yeah, bro.
Kane.
Omar Kane, bro. Google this fucking oak, bro.
What's that other guy from Finance Gym that's like 6 or 7 and 0?
Gane, yeah. He's also
Cyril Gane.
I was gonna say that.
Heel
his
hook
brothers were-
finish. Did
dude.
you see that?
What
Yeah, that
a
was
beast is that oak, bro.
Yeah, this Rugru guy is
Yeah, Rourke's going now.
a little bit of a
Omar Kane.
Senegalese wrestler.
Yeah, it must be, bro.
When we start to meditate. For those who jump around,
Double ad.
we might find it tends to chase after.
Boy, we could also just put this on the screen for everyone to see, eh?
I know, but Rourke is really weak on that.
Look at the size of this dude, bro. Bro, you telling me these oaks aren't on the Anavar, bro?
He's got no
So
pro
this
fights,
is-
eh?
Boy, can you give us a video?
Wow.
Please.
Stop being selfish.
No, you. Be
Rourke,
faster.
Why
Dude,
don't you have an ad
I
blocker?
wouldn't.
He was asking me to scroll the PDF.
I wouldn't
off
do
those
this stuff
adverts.
if you just did your job, Rourke.
And these
It's
annoying
Rugrug.
banners.
Just
this
type
is
Rugrug.
normal. Rugrug. Omar Kane Rugrug.
I mean, I don't speak French, but Ruch,
Yeah.
Ruch. Ruch.
The
I
circs.
don't know. He's Rugrug for
Oh
now.
my
Bro,
word.
I feel like, did you guys ever watch the Vice documentary about these dudes?
Yeah,
I'm
it
pretty
was-
sure this is the one dude that was on there. And these oaks use a lot of muti, bro. Like, fucking, these oaks have got sangomas, my man. Next level sangomas.
Like-
This is, yeah. But this can't translate to MMA though, bro, surely.
Yeah, so they'll only go for like 10,
They-
20 seconds.
Story puppy.
And at least in MMA, you get to wear pants.
Yes, the soak's thonging it hard, eh?
Yes, dude, that looks, are wedges allowed?
What I love is that there's more than one fight happening. And I
Look at that stadium.
Bro, these stadiums are fucking insane.
Can I have as much freedom as this photographer here at the next DFC?
You can stand inside the action.
Yeah, yeah. We're just gonna suspend you, bro, from the roof.
Anton's already got a camera there.
Yeah, but I mean, we can.
Oh, so you've been replaced by automation.
Yeah. Go on, Rourke.
Those photos come out sick though. That's
Oh,
why
they're
I was
awesome.
saying.
And
Yeah.
he wins. Bro, look at the size of these oaks, bro. I mean, like, if a guy like this can translate to like solid MMA with like decent striking.
But look, they've got good technique as well.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, bro, it's a fight for your life here, bro.
I remember like Mamadou saying they get paid something like $50,000 or something.
Yeah, these
for
oaks are
these guys.
celebrities, bro. They're like, there's a fast documentary about the two big dudes. And those oaks are literally, they're like, it's like the president walks down the road when those oaks go out. It's insane.
Oi.
Nice.
Peace.
Do you guys ever watch
Walk off.
the one in the north of Johannesburg, Muswingwe or something?
No?
Yeah. It's not, no, that's from Vendor, bro.
Yeah, the vendor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You can
What-
try YouTube that, Rourke. Masengwe.
Especially with the blind
It's
doctor.
like, yeah,
CPR dude.
it's crazy. Spell it how you say it. Mashengwe. Mashengwe. Just add like a fighting. Wait. No. Keep going.
MASHINGWE.
Yes, couple of whiteys just who can't spell.
Some Vito is just trying to.
No results found. Not
Try
even a
Google
bit.
it. It was on
They have-
ENCA. There was
Yeah,
a
they have
What is
episode
their own
about
channel.
it.
What is it?
Mashingwe.
Mashengwe.
Vendor boxing.
Yeah.
Just
So
type
they
vendor
did- they did-
boxing.
Yeah, they did around like December. There we go.
Ultimate
Musang-
Fighter special.
Musangwe.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is the one. Mushangwe. We were close.
I was basically there.
Remember this popped up
Ultimate
like
Fighter.
just when I started with EFC.
Have you signed any of these dudes? I feel like we should.
Actually, I heard Rudy Roots went to box too.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
You'd have to confirm with him though.
Yeah, check.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yo. It's like,
The-
Give
it's
us
like
some volume,
African
bro.
Lethway.
Yeah, it's something
Yeah.
similar.
check the trestle tables for the officials.
Raw, can we get some more volume, please? See,
Oh.
Muti.
Ah,
Muti,
Just
yes. Actually
Spit
drinking
that
Muti,
blood
bro.
out.
It's not plugged into the PC, so you can
And
leave
then,
like that. So
like
pick
the
it up
winners also get paid, get
Oh,
given like 50
yes.
grand from the or however
like
much
traditional
from the
leader,
king.
whatever. Yeah.
Basically,
Look,
after
I'm gonna
tax
say there's
when-
fucking zero technique from what we've seen so
No.
far. Cat's getting suicidal again.
If you really want to freak out though, check out whatever the name of the promotion is, and then CPR.
Seriously.
Cat's on scene. Hope no.
Hey kitty, you're gonna. So the cat walks over the cable, no problem.
Yeah. Cats are mystical, bro.
Oh!
Oh. Masungwe. Oh.
Hey, overhand.
Look,
I love
surrender.
how the oak has like just like a wrist support on his right hand and then fully wrapped up on the left hand.
Bro, my bestos who got this one of those can I join EFC things, dude. And this dude was wrapped up for war, my man. He had wrapped from fingers to his elbows. Bro. He was ready for war.
Oh.
The cat.
No kitty.
Yeah. No, kitty. Those are my cheese puffs, kitty. Get out of here. Okay,
How
let's
far is the
talk.
drive to there?
Where is this vendor?
Yeah.
It's like 2.5, 3 hours, I think.
Be a cool day out.
I don't know if they'll allow us in
This
there.
has that little right hand pop.
Some interesting techniques here, huh? I like the feints.
Little Ali,
It's like
little-
Lyoto Machida, bro. Bap you in the nose. Okay, yeah. People can for sure
Yeah,
go
yeah,
watch
we
this
don't-
for
we don't want
themselves.
this.
Yeah. You know, but it's pretty cool. Like traditional style fighting, but those are gonna get fucking whomped in an MMA setup anyway.
G-Laz, are we going to see any action at the PI in the coming year?
Next year, yes. Which people, we got some events like inquiring about doing other casual things, but in terms of EFC events, yeah, we want to do our own amateur events. We said that.
Yeah,
a
what
while
happened?
ago.
What happened to Edge MMA?
I'm not sure. It kind of fell away with a bunch of other things going on.
Funding being one problem.
Yeah.
Warren
Although
said
you
he's
already
keen
met-
to
you
hit
already-
it up, though,
you-
so it doesn't need to be
It's
paid.
like an Return of the King. We want to get busier. The busier it
Hashtag
is,
trending,
the better
bro.
for everyone. We want to get our own amateur MMA events.
What about?
There's other promotions that have approached us at doing it. I'm not privy to those negotiations. So
What about the MMA Republic podcast permanently broadcasting from the PI? That would be pretty legit.
that's potential. I mean, if you guys want to drive all the way there every
Yeah, well,
week.
we're happy as long as we get sponsored by Fit Chef and Monster. It'll be cool.
Oh, Dragon.
Dragon, man.
Dragon.
Oh,
child.
Dragon.
I like
Did I say Monster?
I'm telling you, try the banana flavor. That shit.
Bro,
will
that
change your
freaks
life.
me out. Banana,
Banana
dragon.
flavor.
You never have yellow chappies.
I did, but I didn't
Look,
drink
I
them.
don't want my energy drink to taste like.
Yeah, I want to
yellow
chew
cherry.
chappies. I
love
don't want to
that
drink them.
I love that stuff.
That gives me the heebie-jeebies. What else happened this week in the MMA world, Rourke? Tell us. What went down?
So JP fucked some
Yeah,
dude up
UFC
at
was
LFA.
fucking
His
snooze
wife
fest.
fucked some chick up at LFA. That was a good start to
Yeah.
the weekend. Then some weird ass action in UFC's Sao Paulo. Was it Sao
Right.
Paulo, eh?
Yeah, it was
It was
horrible.
weird.
It was horrible.
I didn't
Yeah.
even watch it.
You know, like sometimes you can have some cards are just absolutely stacked with action, and then some cards are just a complete miss.
I mean, look at the card. Besides for Charles Oliveira, like everyone, all the big names are like pride era, almost.
Yeah.
They're- they're at the end of their
It wasn't a
careers.
great card. to
Like,
be
how old
honest.
is Jakare now?
Yeah,
75. He must
Also,
be.
like his team, like the team that he's training out of in Florida is like quite a peculiar team.
It is weird. If you have to spend more than a week with old fucking...
Mike Perry.
that can't be good for you, bro. It can't be good for
I
you.
actually walked past that gym when I was in Florida. It's like
Is that
it's
the time you met Damien Maya?
no, that was a week before then.
Same coast. Though.
Tell us about this.
It's like peculiar. It's like in like a peculiar shopping center, like a little strip. Like it's like a proper shopping center, but it's like it would be like where Woolworths sits.
Yeah.
It's like there's a gym there, and then people. It's like a very strange setup.
Yeah, interesting. There's a UFC card coming up.
8th of December is the next one. I was
Seems
actually
so.
looking for it today.
It seems like so far away because every weekend there's something
What is
going
it,
on.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What else is coming up? Guy's favorite, Brave, 31.
Oh, we
Durban.
haven't even spoken about Submission Quest. Come now. We got two of the competitors sitting right
Hey.
here. Oh, eyeing each other down over here.
Oh, actually, in our group chat, we decided that you guys are going to have a 2-minute fight to the death downstairs, starting from 50-50.
I'm pretty sure Rourke wins that one.
Yeah.
And if it's to the death, it might be only 2 minutes.
Well, technically, I'm 0-1 to guy actually.
Yeah,
No,
like, we don't
ADCC.
talk about like
Yeah, so we
7
can-
Saturday sessions in a row.
So we can settle this
Yeah.
in the
Competitively,
dungeon,
I'm
in the
on
blue dungeon downstairs.
But when last you mobbed those mats?
5 weeks ago, bro. Who's counting?
When
Oh,
last did he
that's
use those mats though? about,
dude.
about 55 weeks ago.
Yeah, I've had a shoulder injury. Bro. What's your problem, bro?
So, who are you hoping to catch first at the submission quest?
Personally,
If you could have one pick of the 8.
one pick.
Oh, no, wait.
Submission 8. And why is there a kid in Submission
Yeah.
8?
eject. I just told YouTube there's no kids on this channel, bro. Get out
Jeez.
there.
Submission quest needs to be slightly more
Active.
on it. Hey, we on there. Look at that.
Hey, nice boys.
I think you need to go to their Facebook page, maybe, bro, where they announce the card and stuff.
Because they do that long click
Yeah.
it to expose thing.
I'm always scared of those because of that
That's
picture.
So
Submission
let's
Kings,
look,
boy.
let's
You
look at
looking
the
for
brackets.
Submission Quest?
Let's look at the
Oh,
brackets.
yeah.
Shout out to
Jeez.
Submission Kings though for a great
Yeah.
event.
We're still looking for a producer if anybody's available.
Like, I'd rather roll someone I haven't rolled before. Like, I've rolled you every weekend, basically. Chris, often enough in competition.
Yeah, please match us.
There's
up
a lot of
separately.
Coach
We catch,
Quan guys in
but
there.
the yeah,
And we all
We're talking
like
about
from the same lineage.
Christosterone.
There we go. There it is.
We're calling him Christosterone.
she wants to call everyone out tonight, eh?
No, I'm just saying that he's
But,
not. He's
The
I've
strong
rolled,
as fuck.
I've rolled JD like at least twice in competition.
Can we not zoom in on that, bro?
no, because I did that.
No, just save the picture and then open it.
Is
By
there,
itself.
there's a
Who
better
else is
picture
there?
though
There's
as well.
Paul.
So there's
Greeks,
Pick
Sonema,
Steel, Paul
Good. And Franz Meyer
Fringudis, Francois Meyer.
and Gimmel.
Yeah, please submission quest. Please don't put all the guys who always fight each other up first.
Okay, who
So
have we got?
I mean, they should definitely
who we got in
split.
under 75?
They should split the two of you,
I
and they
wish
should
there
and
was like a slightly lower
and Chris.
Hey,
division. I wish there was a smaller division.
yeah.
Like,
But I think this is. I like this setup. Like me and Warren was saying, like I just don't know where the brown belts fit in this situation. Like it's a bit weird.
Warren and
Well, there's
and Gimmel.
Yeah.
And Paul, did he get a brown yet?
No,
Or
he's
No, he's
purple.
still
purple.
His fight with Chris was close at the last one.
Yeah.
I think in all fairness though, that wasn't close because there were submissions being thrown from him. It was close because he managed to just like not get
But you
submitted.
know how it is. If someone doesn't want to be submitted and they just
Yeah.
negative grapple
Yeah.
the
Like-
entire time, it's very difficult
Like
to
a
grapple.
DJ
it.
Jackson just sat
Yeah.
there, kind of.
But yeah. So I mean, the most sense would be to split Chris, yourself, and JD. Match
Yeah,
the
just-
4 of you up, and then you guys can only catch each other in round 2.
That'd be the sensible thing. But what I could predict is that they're gonna do.
Are they hand picking fights or they're gonna lotto style?
But I've heard different
So
stories from different people.
I texted Jason just to ask.
Yeah. Let's call him right now.
Excuse me, I'm gonna. All that monster I didn't drink.
Should've gone
And
in
he
a
said they're gonna
banana
match
dragon.
them by weight, like the two closest weights.
Look, for sure that doesn't make any
Would-
Yeah.
sense.
In which case, guy, I'll see you in the first round.
You weigh less than Chris.
Yeah.
And we weighed. I think we weighed literally on the dot the same amount the last time.
But you guys are both doing International Pro the weekend before, eh?
I don't even know if I'm gonna do it. We've got.
And Chris
the
said he's not either.
Cannabis Expo
Oh, okay.
that weekend. So I've got to see if I can step away from work for like
Ooh,
4
Cannabis
hours.
Expo. That's coming up 28th, eh? 28th of
28th
November.
the 1st.
Look, I mean, we could for sure do with a nice cannabis sponsor for this podcast.
Yeah. Maybe we should go scout.
Oh yeah, let's look at the plus 75 division as well.
And
That's-
if
that's
I do
juicy.
AJP, I'm fighting at 56.
I
That's a
know.
week
Yeah,
before.
it's madness.
So who's in there? I can see Neil Steele, Duplessis.
There's that Sean
Oh, he's
Frost
on the
kid.
heavy, yeah? I don't
Sean-
know Sean Frost.
Sean actually beat the Wonder Boy Luke Griffith recently.
Really?
Twice, I think, actually, or something like that.
What
Who was telling me? Someone was telling me about it because I didn't know who Sean Frost was, and then someone was like,
Who is Sean Frost? Which picture?
"He's from UMF, the bottom second guy."
Okay. Yeah. I've seen him. Yeah. Okay.
With the long hair. He's friends
Yes.
with Julian Raymond.
Yeah.
I think it's him.
He trains at
So,
UMF.
so I didn't know who he was, and then someone said to me, "No, he beat Luke once or twice." That's a fucking massive accomplishment
Yeah.
because Luke's a savage.
Stain.
Beat Luke recently.
That
That was a
killer
fucking
as well.
good fight as
It's the
well.
dude from Eastern BJJ.
But that was
The
that
112?
wasn't like one-sided. That was a decently
No,
good
that
fight.
was-
No, I'm saying
That's
that was a
great.
great fight to watch.
He's the dude bottom left.
This guy.
Oh, isn't that? Whoa!
Now I want your cat to jump out the window.
Oh, like we can get you a new cat if she just jumps out the window right now.
It's hooked on his tail. It's
No,
hooked on his
the
tail.
tail.
Oh.
Oh.
So
I
much-
do apologize.
So much pain.
I don't know if anyone hearing this can actually feel
Sorry,
our
but
pain.
can you speak up? I can't hear that. What? I don't know if that's actually the headphone or the mic cable, but I have a feeling it's the mic cable. Can you please get a life, cat? Go downstairs. Be free. Good catch
Yeah.
with that.
Who's your the plus 75 division? Who's your pick to win this one?
Dark horse Neil Duplessis for show.
I think my
Nah,
money's
that-
on. I reckon we're gonna see a Stain versus Luke Griffith final. That's my prediction.
My honest opinion, I think Luke gets it done this time.
Think so?
Here's
Yeah.
a question: are these Oaks gonna be streaming this, or
Hashtag Josie Squad.
or what's gonna? Do you Oaks have any idea? Are they gonna have?
Yeah. If you're there, so if you're at Alberton Wrestling Club on the day, you can watch it.
For free.
So
You can stream it for
they
free.
will have someone filming it. I don't know who. That's what they told me.
Probably Junior.
And they'll be doing like
gonna get
interviews
a text
beforehand
message
and
now.
stuff.
You know, like I think everyone was just like manage their expectations. This isn't going to be like fight to win or something. It's a start, and
Yeah.
the next one
Yeah.
should get better, and the next
Yeah.
one should get better. But there definitely won't be a live stream from what I know.
Yeah,
of
no,
it.
that's fine. I'm just, I'm
Yeah.
hopeful. What they should do for sure is let the MMA Republic set a super fight in between you. MMA Republic Invitational.
From what I
super
understand,
fight.
there is a super fight. It's gonna be Alan versus Patrick. That's
Yeah.
one of them.
for $5,000 to charity or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Out of their own
My money's
pockets.
on Alan.
I'll be super surprised if that happens.
Real talk. My money's on Alan.
Um,
Fucking raw. Yeah, but that is exciting. I like this format. I think it's cool, and I'm liking the new era of submission competitions that has emerged post SABJJF.
yeah.
I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
Rip. SABGJF.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Those were well put together though.
They
Those
were
events.
the shit, bro.
I'm sure they'll be back. So you'll
Oh,
have to
what's
confirm with Huntley and Rich, but I know they were working on something at some point. And
This is
yeah.
what I was asking. The big hurdle was maths. We lost
Yeah.
track earlier on. So what do you think like those rollouts sort of setups from Fuji would cost?
And I have to go
That'd
back.
be amazing, right? If the UFC had like 200 squares of zebra mats.
Fuck, that'd be
could-
cool, bro.
That'd be amazing.
Or if they could just host events there for free.
Oaks need to cover their bills, man.
Okay, what if you could host an event, a grappling event in the cage? Would that be possible?
How would you want to do
I've
that?
definitely
though?
thought about it.
Could be cool.
Well, you know, the,
Think
the
about-
side
No,
panels
but
come
without
off.
the cage, you just
Yeah.
it's a
The side
sort of
panels come
platform
off.
like Fight to Windows.
And then
That
you
would
have,
be dope.
then
We
you have
actually
the-
spoke about this.
Can
one.
I be the ring announcer?
Well, actually,
Ladies
better. Why
and-
don't we just do wrestling, like table ladders and chairs? Somebody jumps off. You
Or
that
let's
overhang
not.
over the walkout.
No. I'm not with
Not
you
a
on this one.
wrestling
Sorry.
fan?
No, not at all. Sorry. I'm a realist.
Not a wrestling fan, yeah.
UFC
No,
No,
grappling.
I loved wrestling growing up.
Yeah, I loved wrestling when I
Growing
was
up.
7.
I'm still growing.
Yeah, that would be pretty fucking sick. as
Gilas, I hate to inform you, but I don't think you're growing anymore, Chana. He's like the eternal optimist, right? He pitched up at every event thinking someone's going to weigh in at like under 61.
There's-
And,
There's an Angolan in my division for AJP, but I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, did you check our division for AJP? Well, I say ours. You coming up to us as always. But it's like myself, Guy, Chris, and 2 Angolans. was like,
Two in Gordon. Do
it's
it.
750 rand to have the chance to maybe one and go.
700.
And how much it is?
Well, that's how it would work out, since you have to pay for the membership and then the late entry to then potentially roll 2 teammates.
That is a problem, man.
So gym fees for the month.
Exactly.
You know what you could do with that money is you could buy yourself 3 Gajitsu shirts.
Yeah.
That would be a great investment.
could
and then
buy-
I can enter.
You could buy 3 guy
Available
jitsu
now
shirts
at
now,
Fight Fit Militia, Gracie Bar, Sunninghill shop.
or guyjitsu.co.za.
Do you have
Thanks
a
for the
site?
shout out.
Let's check
It's
this
not
out.
live
it's
yet.
Not live yet. It's still on like the standard Wix.com /
So it's pretty cool that we've been sponsored by Guyjitsu now. Look out for our shirts.
And those guys that run the Cannabis Expo.
Yeah.
Can't wait
Yeah.
until
And they're letting us use those 200 squares of zebra mats for
Yeah.
the
Oh,
next
and we're
jiu-jitsu
gonna-
event.
Guy also said that he was giving away 4 VIP tickets to Cannabis Expo on the show. So
1, 2, 3. There's one available still.
and the cat.
and the cat.
Hey, your suicidal cat could definitely do with some CBD therapy.
Yes, dude, he needs something. He needs something. While we're talking about the CBD Expo, seeing as you work at that as well, for those who don't know, why should people go to the Cannabis Expo? What can we do there?
So actually, let me go into promoters mode. So this is the
Get closer to
biggest
the mic.
cannabis expo or event happening on the African continent ever. It's basically a meeting, a business to business expo for, I grow. I'm looking for someone to supply me with lighting and netting and all of that. But then there's all the legislature things going on. We've got a few. I think we've had Zimbabwean ministers over there. We've had Malawian, Lesotho, a lot of different African politicians, a few South Africans. This is the first time we're going to have the conference, which is like there'll be meeting rooms and all of that. And then for the weed connoisseurs, or I don't know if connoisseurs, is going to be a private vaping room, or not a room, but area. So if you understand the legislature, you can join a club as long as there's
It can't leave that premise.
you can't leave that specified area.
So those of you asking, yes, you can go get fucking high at the Cannabis Expo.
but there won't be
Under
any
strict
product.
legislation.
There won't be any product to sell. That's
So you have to take your own product.
So does the Cannabis Expo not have like CBD
Answer that.
stalls and that type of
Yeah,
stuff?
So
there's
what
lots of CBD stores,
what Guy
lots
can't
of
say
like
and what I
clothing.
can say is that if you're carrying marijuana on your persons, you may enter the facility into the vaping room and you may indulge.
Actually,
Actually,
not
I don't
sure
think that is what he was
about the
saying.
Yeah,
legality
this
behind
sounds like
that.
you're gonna get
That's
people arrested.
100%. That's 100% what's going to happen.
And to be honest, that's still like a grey area. I think I'm not sure
But
if it has to be supplied by the club
yeah, I think it does.
or if you
That's
can
So
bring your
from
own.
from what I understand, you join the club provides you with the product, but the product cannot leave their premises, and that's yours. It's marked. That's Guy's purple skunk in jar one.
That's cool.
You
It's
know
like a
what I'm
whiskey
saying?
club or
Yeah, exactly. That's what I understand. So where will you guys be getting that supply from?
So
I'm just
I
joking.
mean,
I'm just joking. Is that an advert there? Can we watch it? What's going on
these
there?
little promos you can play
Yeah.
that with pleasure. Go
If we
back.
get
not the
kicked
cake
off,
one.
we know why. That one. This one.
Yeah, play that one.
That one. The Cannabis Expo.
I think this is just like highlights from Durban.
Expo is the proving ground. This is where we get to see the public.
People are flying for the expos, for business. It's not just the stoner off the street.
It's not quite as exciting as EFC.
Turn it up, bro. Don't be shy.
New people to the business are seeing something they
That dude's not a stoner at all.
they've never been allowed to before.
Our sales haven't stopped since the first expo in December last year. I must say this is actually the best. That the way it's been, the way it's been set up, the way it's been organized, the amount of people are here.
Asians, obviously.
So, will there be any fights at the Cannabis Expo?
It's probably the least fighty place you can ever go to.
Can you like advertise Cannabis Expo on EFC broadcast? No,
Well,
not legal yet.
Legally, yeah, we can, but we don't. We really try not to cross over the businesses.
So I've got a pretty important question surrounding that. Obviously, there's a little bit of rumblings in the community.
Oh,
They're
I
like,
didn't want to ask those questions.
you didn't want to ask this question.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the EFC are fucking spending all their money on this cannabis expo instead of spending it on the EFC. My understanding is these are two very separate businesses
Completely
run by
separate.
one family, obviously. So there's no cross-pollination of finances between the Cannabis Expo and the EFC. The EFC need to fend for themselves.
Absolutely none, according to my knowledge and what I've been explained.
100%.
We just we're, instead of being just an EFC company now, it's more like we're an events company with separate sub-companies. I don't want to say umbrella because that means they're shared, but that's not quite it.
And I think
that's how I
Does that
understood
make
it.
sense?
Yeah, that's how I
I
understood
think
it. But it's so difficult to explain that to people who
Yeah.
are being cynical.
yeah, but people also don't understand how business works.
Yeah.
Like if I own 3 businesses, 2 are doing well and 1 is suffering, for example, and I own them, I'm the
Yeah.
person involved. 1 is a bar, 1 is a soccer company, and 1 is a
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
successful podcast, and the podcast is just flying. I can't just take that and be like, it's cool, I'm just going to pay for that.
Yeah.
That business is struggling, that business is independent, it's struggling, it's on its own, you know what I'm saying?
You
It's-
don't, you wouldn't want to attack, all your eggs in one basket, I'd imagine, even.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, how many husbands put their, houses in their wives' names just in case?
Yeah, that's because they're
business goes
tax
down.
evading, but I don't know if you know how that works. Warren explained it to me yesterday.
But
If
you
I
know,
owned
you
a
know,
house.
your,
If I owned a house.
your company goes under bankruptcy or whatever. and
Yeah.
They want
Yeah.
to liquidate your
For
house
sure.
for it.
For sure.
Oh no, it's my wife's name. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Same, I imagine.
Yeah, pretty much exactly. I think, I don't know if there's any other questions you want to ask, Guy.
No.
Guys.
All the juicy ones we'll leave for
So
another time.
I know you're in part of communications. I think the only question I can ask you now, and a nice way to end the show is, there's obviously all the scrutiny going on with MMA SA, back and forwards between EFC, MMA SA. From your side, and it's just a simple yes or no answer that will really just end this whole speculation, is EFC 83, 14th of December, Times Square. Is it 100% everything's cool, it's going to happen?
Everything is cool. It is happening. 100%, undoubtedly. I can give you absolute confirmation on. I don't know what's happening with MMSA or a new association. That's still being negotiated.
I
and
think
all of
that's at this point that's the most important question.
Yeah.
is
Undoubtedly,
the show goes on.
the show goes on. There's nothing that's going to affect that, short of a meteorite landing directly in Times Square.
Well, now that you've said it, thanks, bro.
Oh, and can we expect those beautiful screens?
I'm really hoping myself. I will. Remind me tomorrow morning, and I'll check.
Okay.
Yeah,
100%.
I try to.
Because I know we're working on a deal to have them for every event. Well, every event in Times Square.
Jeez.
What a great Christmas present.
And also, if those screens are up, and if you are a fighter, and if you are listening to this, and if those screens are up, please take advantage of that platform.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like so many guys, just so not to their own detriment. I mean, even you mentioned it. You were like, nobody's owning the stage. They're just walking straight to the cage. Like, stop, fucking do whatever, do a backflip if you can. That's what I would do
If
because
you've
I'm so
ever watched,
subtle.
just go watch Israel Adesanya's last walk up.
That was amazing.
If you can come as close to that as possible.
That was amazing.
Perfect.
That'd be cool.
That was insane. But I always go back to the old Pride days.
Yeah.
Remember the guy in the diaper and the drum, and they made a whole show. But then
I'm pretty sure it wasn't a diaper, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
what do they wear in sumo? It was one
Loin
of those.
cloths, maybe.
No, I
What do they call it in sumo?
I don't know. Bro.
But
Sumo pants.
But it was epic. Like all those guys on the big drums and
yeah,
banging
and
away.
then
It was
but even Alistair Overeem, when he was still skinny before the horse meat, he'd come out with a hammer and a big. And
Yeah.
Rampage came out with his chain, and he was just like, "I am the boxer from Street Fighter."
yeah.
But even
And they made
even
a
the
big show of that. It was always awesome.
Yeah.
even the Bellator style walkouts, because it's very similar. If you watch Bellator, a guys walk out by themselves and their team follows afterwards,
Yeah.
and they kind of own that stage. Just own it a little bit. It's a good opportunity.
Definitely. On a side note, while we wrap up, I think it's very clear to everyone that after all this shenanigans with Massa, that they have little to no authority at this stage.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it all unfolds.
That
But
was a question.
No, it's a statement. It's
the
a
show,
complete statement.
the show goes on. That's all that matters.
If the show goes on without them, then what? Then who needs them?
Exactly. Guy says he doesn't need them, so fuck them.
I need someone to give me the results. Like the official times.
Sweet, fellas. I
Sweet
think
Chinese.
there was way less waffle there, Alan.
I think there was a lot more waffle
and
this
Co-
time.
That was mostly waffle.
Was it mostly waffle?
Mm.
Okay, I'll take that
And I'm
back.
hoping we can do more waffle next
Yeah,
week.
hopefully we can
In
get
fact,
some
let's.
more waffle.
What was his name? Andre.
I can't even remember.
Let's get him on.
Yeah, let's get him on.
It's waffle.
We're
with
calling
that
you
guy.
in, bro. We're calling you in for a waffle.
Where can you get good waffles in Joburg?
Anyway,
Yeah,
Milky Lane,
On
bro.
the way to Apex, we used to stop at that one station that used to say
Oh
like
my
chicken
goodness.
and waffles next
I
to
wasn't on the
Seattle.
way. It was if depending on how badly training went.
There's more. see.
For the first 2 weeks, it was every day.
And on that, more waffle. We'll catch you later.
Cheers, guys.
Peace.